and we're on the climb. There it is. It starts just there as we go across that crossroad, and the riders know that, well, this is where the pain begins. If you thought it was hurting before, wait till you get to this bit. And Roman van Uden, you can see by the shadows, leaving Epping, while right behind them, here comes the peloton, and it's a big bunch. There's about 20 or 30 riders there, and at the front, Share the Road.
Looks like big Jason Allen giving the Share the Road guys a really strong lead out there. 2 lead out riders, and there's Roman van Uden. He's
gone.
Popped already.
Yep, and it's left Alex Meenhorst on his own. So, well, it's up to Meenhorst now, the rider from Team SVS, to do the business, and Roman van Uden is going to be swallowed up by this hard-charging peloton. They are flying up this first dig, and this is where it starts to get steep, John. You rode it.
Oh, I rode it, and it was incredibly steep, very hard for me. Obviously, I'm just a Hubbard, but you can see Alex Meenhorst doing an amazing job there, staying away, even though he's had so much pain in his legs. And who's this?
Jeremy Yates. Is it Jeremy Yates? I think it is Jeremy Yates.
I think it's Macaulay.
Oh, well, it's one of the Share the Road riders, and they are attacking on the first part of the climb. Now, this is the first part, and then it'll ease off as they go around the corner here. It goes downhill past the RSA Memorial Gardens. There we go, down the first section. We're off the first section. We go downhill slightly, past the RSA Gardens there in the background, and then the steepest part of the climb. Bam! It's a real hard pinch. So around this corner, he'll know all about it, because after this section, it's the wall. And you know, John, I think you're right. I think that is Gordon Macaulay. What's he doing attacking here?
He loves to attack early on this Bluff Hill climb. He did it last year, and I think he, if I remember correctly, he dropped a chain or broke a chain on this hill and ruined his chances of getting up the hill in very quick time. But he's not this time. He's almost catching up to Alex Meenhorst. In fact, he is closing that gap right now. But we can see that the rest of the climbers are right on Gordon's heels.
Well, it's all compacting now, and it's all over for Alex Meenhorst. He's going to keep on fighting. Gordon Macaulay's efforts been thwarted as well, because here comes Floyd Landis leading them up. There's a rider there from the Southland Times, and there's a good little group is assembling.
So we see Gordon Macaulay now
on,
struggling a little bit. He's dropping back slightly, but fighting on.
There's Jack Bauer coming through.
Jack Bauer's coming through. I saw Jeremy Yates up ahead looking very strong. There's Floyd Landis. He came here last year and he didn't really have the legs. He featured sometimes, but he didn't really have the legs on the overall. We didn't see him on these big climbs, but today he looks to be in very good form.
Because they'll get up here through this wooded area and they'll turn the corner. There's Bauer on the outside. There's Hayden Ralston in the yellow and Floyd Landis. And they'll get around this corner and they'll line up for what we call the wall. There is the corner. They go around that one, right the one at the top of your picture, and that is into the wall section of this climb. It's a reasonable gradient right here. Landis, Ralston, Bauer, rider from Southland Times. I think that might be young Matt Marshall from Otautau.
I think it is, John, and you can see Jack Bauer looking around there. He's loosening his New Zealand champions jersey, trying to get a little more air, and you can see Hayden got his jersey well open as well, and Floyd Landis. These guys have lost their teammates. They're all on their own now. It's just climber on climber as they're climbing up this amazing Bluff Hill climb.
Well, one rider trying to come across to them, it's one of the Ascot Park riders. I think that's Clinton Avery. And on the outside, someone's having a crack. On the outside, going to the other side of the road, Landis looks over. And now, Jeremy Yates. Now, I picked it this time. He swoops across and dives onto the wheel. So, we've got one rider from at the front there. We can't quite pick up who it is at the moment. I think that's one of the Americans. I think that's Olheiser. In fact, I think it is Olheiser from Jackson Plumbing. And Jeremy Yates is with him. Now, this is a surprise because Olheiser, we weren't expecting this from him, but he's going for it. And he's not frightened of this section of the road because when he turns this corner, he just may well be. Matt Marshall here in the foreground from the Southland Times team. He's a young fellow that surprised a lot of people at the National Road Champs, and he's still there and still in the hunt, and they've just gone past the 1K to go board.
This Olheiser fellow, he's got very distinctive facial hair, and he's won the American Elite Road Championships for riders without a contract. So he's one of the best road riders in the States, but you can see that right now, Jeremy Yates is putting down, look at that look of concentration as he drops Michael Olheiser and drops Hayden Ralston, who's just behind, and Jeremy Yates just thinking about one thing now, and that is the mountain.
This is a great climb from Jeremy Yates. You know, he did have a holiday for a couple of years from the sport, but he's come back, he's matured, he's got a decent attitude. As we look at the wall, Man, that's a steep section of road. And Jeremy's been over racing in Europe, and he's really turned in some great results this year. As we said, he rode the Tour of Brazil. He won the stage in that. He finished 10th overall and second in the King of the Mountains. As we look back here, this is Bauer and Ralston, and they are being bested by Jeremy Yates.
Of course, last year on this hill, Jack Bauer and Heath Blackgrove battled, and Jack Bauer just won this stage over Heath Blackgrove. And now we can see Jeremy Yates, who won K2 only on Saturday, which is a very hilly race, 200 kilometres, coming out 2 days later and showing them how to do it on the Bluff Hill.
Yeah, well, the K2 and the Coromandel, that includes 4 very big hill climbs, so he's had some practice recently, that's for sure. So there's a group of there's Yates on his own, then we've got a group of 3. We've got Bauer, we've got Ralston, and Olheiser is still in there, the American's still hanging on. Landis appears to have gone, but now it's up to these 3, Bauer and Ralston and Olheiser, to hunt down Jeremy Yates. And has Jeremy Yates gone too soon? Well, we're going to find out, because, well, another step, the gradient just ramps up mightily when they get to the end of this wall, and they take their second last turn towards the summit. There you can see in the background the town of Bluff, and a decent sort of a crowd has assembled here on the side of the road. All the people have come out in various states of dress or undress, as we notice, to watch the race go past, and Jeremy Yates is turning on a show for them.
He sure is. He's staying down in his saddle, he's getting up just occasionally, showing signs of fatigue now, but anybody would be on this hill.
Well, you can see the yellow jersey of Hayden Ralston behind. Olheiser's with him, Jack Bauer there too, and rider number 43 in there at the back of this group, that's Olheiser. And look at this, Bauer going to one side of the road, Ralston responding and going with him, because this is where it gets really I've been saying this gets really steep. This is the toughest gradient on the climb, John.
This is the steepest part, and that shows the guts of Jack Bauer to actually attack Hayden Ralston on the steepest part of the climb, and it looks like he's gapping him as well.
And he's going after his teammate, Jeremy Yates.
He sure is.
So it's Yates, then it's Bauer, then it's Ralston. The crowd trying to encourage the man that got the silver medal in the road race at the Delhi Commonwealth Games.
And there's Yates, and he's being chased down by his own teammate Jack Bauer. So they share the roads, guys, in 1 and 2 on this hill so far, and Ralston's the man trying to chase them, but it looks like it's going to be 1 and 2 for Share the Road if they can just make it this last few hundred metres.
So Jeremy Yates it is, there he is, looking around to see if anybody's coming up. There's the 150 metre to go board. They go around this corner. Will it ever end, says Jeremy Yates. Will it ever end? I don't think he'll be too worried about the steepness, because he knows he's going to win the stage and he's going to have his teammate behind him. So Share the Road are going to be very strong in this race, and behind them the Calder Stewart lead rider, and that's Hayden Ralston.
And 2 men who've both come second in the Tour of Southland are going to come first and second on Bluff Hill by the looks of it.
Into the boards, into the banners. Here we go, up to the line, and Jeremy Yates is going to win stage 2 of the PowerNet Tour of Southland for 2010 from Jack Bauer and Hayden Ralston.
So Jeremy Yates wins the race up Bluff Hill. Jack Bauer comes second. Hayden Ralston is in 3rd place. Floyd Landis is in 4th, and Michael Olheiser, the American, in 5th. With you winning up the hill now, who's the leader of the Share the Road team?
Wow, anyone really. We'll work for Gordy, we'll work for Jace. Day by day, this tour can change so much, and I've been on the good side and the bad side of it in the past. So, the Share the Road team has a strong team, and we've got a few cards to play. So, depending on who's lucky and who's smart and who's got good legs from day to day, we'll work for that person and put everything in behind them.
It's all about Share the Road at the top of the leaderboard. Jeremy Yates takes the yellow jersey over teammate Jack Bauer. Hayden Ralston looking threatening there, 22 seconds back. Floyd Landis and Michael Olheiser in 4th and 5th. The other classifications now, Jack Bauer looking pretty in pink taupe polka dogs and leading the King of the Mountains classification. Roman van Uden out in front all today, takes the sprint ace jersey so far. And leading the under 23 so far, it's Daniel Barry from Benchmark.